Buffalo has a vast queer population, and with this comes the need for safe spaces. Adrian Hill said, "People don't recognize it, but Buffalo is very much a trailblazer of the early gay rights movement. From the 1940s to the 1980s, Buffalo had a big bar scene where many people would go to escape the homophobia and prejudice that they would face on a daily basis. Although these bars were seen as a safe space, many law enforcement figures would raid these places, making the queer people who attended them no longer feel safe there. Because of this, a prevalence of house parties emerged, where the people attending them felt more secure and were not afraid of a cop raiding their space. Safe spaces since this time have changed greatly, and as the creators of the Buffalo Safe Space Project, we would like to first show you some of the specific safe spaces and items that showcase our individual identity."
My bedroom is my ultimate safe space, away from the chaos of life. There's always music playing, a bunch of trinkets sprinkled around, having to do with magic, fantasy, horror, etc. I love reading so much that I have a small bookshelf in my room where I keep the books that I still need to read stacked upon it, as well as a bunch of other collectibles like my tarot cards, my Pokemon cards, and even my ukulele. I have posters all around my room pertaining to queer cinema, television, and to musical artists that I love, as well as a bunch of K-pop merch, which I collect and adore. My room is always going to be a work in progress, and I make sure whoever visits it helps maintain the joy that it brings me. But most of the time, it's just my cat Felix, though.
My safe space is my bedroom back at home in Brooklyn, and I consider it my safe space because it's literally just my own space where I could just go and be myself without any consequence. I've always had my own room since I was little because I was the only girl with two older brothers, so I never really had to share a room with them. My first item that I want to share with y'all is my bookshelf. Like, I've shared it before, but it's just the Bermuda Triangle. There's so much to unpack on my bookshelf. Like, I have 3 controllers, but one specific controller I threw against the wall and it broke, and it was my realization that I need to stop playing video games because I clearly cannot handle it. My next item, well, I don't know if it's technically called an item, but it's my wall that's behind my door. It's a little rainbow flower that it's literally the only thing that I can draw perfectly to a T. And behind it is my, if you look really closely, you could see it. It's like a drawing of a face, but honestly, I didn't like the way it was coming out, so I tried to erase it because, I drew it in pencil, but turns out pencil doesn't come off walls, so don't do that. And the other part of the wall is an actual flower. I got it from somebody at my graduation party, and it came with the bedspread that I currently use in my dorm right now, so I thought I would put it up there because, home away from home at home, I guess. The last item I would like to share with you guys is my end table that's in my closet. And it's in my closet because my closet was the place where I would go when I just wanted to be alone, because at the time my door didn't close all the way. So if I was in my closet, you couldn't see me right away. So you would have to literally come in the room to see me. But that's where I used to just think about stuff, brood, because I was also in my emo phase during this time, queers, closets. I'm sorry. I had to throw it in. You can cut that part out if you want, but I find that so funny. Anyway.
I view my room as my go-to safe space. I always make sure I have good noises going with my mini waterfall and good smells at my diffuser to keep me calm. My room is made up of peaceful things that help me to be at ease while I'm in there. The plants in my room are also an important aspect of my safe space because it gives me something to care for and acts as a daily reminder of how important life is. I have a reading nook, which is very important to me to be able to sit there and unwind. In this nook, I have a bookshelf which is filled with pieces from feminist and queer writers, as I find it very important to hear other opinions and views from people who share similar experiences as me. These books are an important part of my safe space too, because it reminds me that others have gone through a lot of the same things I have, and it makes me feel less alone. Outside of my bedroom, I have made a point to surround myself with people that support me and make me feel that anywhere I am with them can be a safe space for me.
We are aware that many people do not have the luxury of their safe spaces being within their own homes. This being said, we would like to show you a few places that many Buffalo locals consider a safe space. Places like Spot Coffee, Club Marcella or Marcella's, libraries, bubble tea shops, and thrift stores. Although some of these places, at first glance, may not seem like they should be added to this list of safe spaces, they have kind of turned into safe spaces over the years because of who they attract, as well as what they do for the people who visit them in their lives.
As you've seen throughout this video, safe spaces come in all shapes and sizes. Regardless of whether or not your safe space is public or private, as long as you feel safe in that space, it is considered a safe space. We encourage you to send your safe space to the Buffalo Safe Space Project so people who are just like you or different than you will have more examples of what their safe space could or should look like. With Buffalo being the historical hub for the gay rights movement, there are many historically important places for the queer community, as well as the new places that you can find here today. And before I leave this, I would just like to say thank you for watching on behalf of the Buffalo Safe Space Project crew. And yeah, we encourage all submissions. Thank you for watching.